Delicate. After putting together the cockpit, the model gamer had to put plenty of pipes onto the hull to finish this beautiful work. He also began working on the cargo hold, painting extra details in an attempt to make these parts have a splashing impact. What new adventures await our model builder with the fourth pack of this magnificent journey? Welcome back, everyone, to the Model Frontier. If you're new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a second of any of my great content. So we're here with pack 4 of the Millennium Falcon build, and I'm going to be honest with you, we're not really going to do many big things, but we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. What do I mean? Well, in this pack, we're going to actually, by the end of this pack, we're actually going to complete the cargo bay. We're going to have this done and ready to go in the ship. But we're also going to be working a lot on the framework as well. So realistically, this pack is all about the cargo bay and the framework of the Falcon. So we don't have a ton of big stuff to do, but we do got a lot to get through. So let's get into it. Let's start building. So we're here with the start of pack 12, and I know that one of my prior videos, I tried to show off some of this, but it didn't really come out as good as I was hoping. So I thought I'd give you a nice little chance to see a close-up just of the weathering part. And in the interim, I did manage to get batteries for this. So if we tilt this up a little bit and turn this on. Hang on, let me bring this up a little bit. You can see how it'll look on the inside, and I'll take the nose cone off. You can see there's how it's going to look all lit up on the inside. So, and you can tell, and I'll turn off my lights here for a second so you can get a really good look. And you can see no light bleed on the top or on the bottom. There is a little on the seam, which I plan on dealing with later on. Probably using the tape that they provided us. And now if I put the nose cone back on here. Now I get an idea of what this thing looks like, all nice and lit up. So as promised, at a later time I would show this to you. There you go, all lit up and nice looking. But now we're gonna work on the issue at hand, which is a lot of work assembling the frames. We need all the pieces of framework that we put aside from past issues. Plus we need some stuff out of this, out of the pack out of what we get in this pack. So one thing we will not need is this piece of plating. So we're going to put this off to the side for now. We also do not require this for the cargo hold, so we're going to set that aside until we need it later on. We will, however, need the bit of frame in here, as well as the connectors and the screws. Now with the framework right here, I don't know if you'll be able to, yeah, there it is. You'll see they're labeled BP15. That means bottom plate. If you look at the stuff we already did, like these pieces here, you'll notice it says TP here, which means top plate. So obviously this is on the top. BP is going to be for the bottom, but the rules are going to be the same. We are going to still assemble everything with this part with the label facing up. Now we're going to go a little out of order to make life a little bit easier here, because we have to make some of these radial ribs and we have to connect them together. So what we want is you're gonna basically just make connectors out of these. So we got our
radial ribs, and we got these 4-prong connectors. And what we're going to connect them with are, all right, so I'm going to zoom in here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick an end. I'm going to start with this end. And just because I'm me, I'm going to make sure that I do this in a way that makes sense. Okay, so they want you to do this while these are attached, but we're going to do it a little differently and work a little smarter, not harder. So I'm going to take this piece here, connect it to that, and then we're going to put it in to place with a couple of the gold screws. Now, just because I'm me, I'm going to go, all the screws are going to go in the same side, going to my right. There we go. Now we're going to grab the other end, which does not have a 2-prong built in. As I'm sure you can imagine, we're going to put the radial right in there. Is there a difference? I don't think there is. No, there's no difference. So we're going to put the radial part in, and then we're going to put it, and then it's going to get held in place with another 2 of the gold screws. Just like that. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other 2 parts. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll go on and start assembling the framework. So there we are. Those are done. Now I do stand corrected on one thing. Even though there are 2 of these types of screws here, which I'm going to try to focus in on a little bit, they are different sizes in one respect. One thread is slightly thicker than the other. So when you're doing these radials, it is the thicker ones you want. If you use the thinner ones, they're just going to go right through. So it's important to make sure you don't get them mixed up. Now for this next part, we're going to go ahead and move these off to the side, because we're going to lay out the panels as they show you in the book. So I'm going to bring my camera up quite a bit. And I'll put the instructions up. I'll try to do everything on this half, and we'll put the instructions up on this half here. So starting up at the top, we want 13, and it's going to go, so we're going to put 13 here. Then next to that one will be 10. Then under 13 is going to go 14. Under 10, we're going to put 11. $15 is going to go here. And 12 is going to go here. So this is how everything's going to be set up. Now, to make life simpler, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these pieces that we just did right here, and we're going to connect it all the way down this. So I'm just going to remove all this off to one side, and we're just going to work on one side here. So we're going to do this with the black screws. We're going to need 5 of the black screws to put this radial in. Just like that. And now, of course, we're gonna add in the other side to this. So 5 more of the black screws to put this in on, put the other side in. So just like that, we've got that bit together. Now we need to put the other radial on this side here with, again, 5 of the black screws. So now with the radials on, you may notice we've got a section here and a section here that requires a two-hole connector. We should have one already, and we get another one in this pack, and those each get held in with, you guessed it, 2 of the black screws. Just like that. And with that done, that bit of framework is finished. That's actually it for this stage. They do show you how you can put the plates on to kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. I'm going to hold off on that until the end of this pack, though, because I get a feeling we're going to be adding to this before all is said and done. Okay, so here we are. We're starting on stage 13, and we're going to need all these pieces of the cargo hold that we got in several issues. Plus, we're going to need some stuff out of the bag from here. We're not going to get into this until we actually need them, though. So for right now, let's just set this aside. Now, we're also going to need some glue because we got to glue some of these parts down. So the first thing they tell you to do is to take the seat back and put it in, which we started on. We only are holding it together with 2 screws, though. They want you to put in the last 3, and they're those thinner gold screws. Just like that. And remember, with this being plastic, you don't want to go too hard on it. You want it to just kind of set in place. Next, they tell you to glue the seat on. It sits in there pretty strongly, though. And I may have already glued it in, so you don't got to worry about that. And next, we're going to glue in the chessboard. So we're going to need our chessboard. And I'm just going to put some glue Right on the bottom here. There's no real point in putting any in that. Then we're going to put it into place. Press it tightly down in there. Like that. Now next, we're going to take this wall here, and just like we had it, we're going to set it into place like this. And again, we're going to make sure our pipes go into this little crevice here. Just like that. With the pipes in the crevice. Now next, we're going to take this blank wall here, and it's going to fit in right here. Once we get that in place, we need to hold that in with 2 more of the gold screws. Just like that. Now we're going to flip over to this side. We have this wall to put in. Wait, no. Scratch that. Not this shorter one. It's this longer wall that we want to put in here. And you guessed it. We got another 2 of the gold screws to put in to keep it in place. Just like that. So far, here's our cargo hold. Here's what it's looking like. Now next, we got this piece that we got in the last pack, and they want us to put it here with this end, the wider end facing towards the back. And as I'm sure you can guess, 4 more of these gold screws. Just like that. And you see, it wasn't the most scientific way of doing it, but it worked. So we got that done. Now we need this piece, and it's gonna fit in right into this groove. Now this doesn't get screwed in because obviously this is on the inside. So now we need to get into our bag. Well guys, this is one of those things that just kind of happens. I am supposed to have a sprue with some studs that go into this thing, but I don't seem to have those at this moment. So I'm gonna have to write to the folks, to the people at fanhome, and let them know that I'm missing that part, and I'll get it in there a little later on. But for now, what I'll actually go ahead and do is just glue this piece down. Basically, it's just joining the 2 walls together. So hang on, I'm going to glue this down so that when I get the studs, I can put them in correctly. There we go. I'm just putting that little screw in there to hold it in place until the glue sets. And then, like I say, once I get my studs, I will take care of that and we'll fix that up next. Now we're going to take this back wall, and we're going to put it in here. And it's going to get held in place here and here with, you guessed it, a pair of the gold screws. There we are, just like that. Now we're going to temporarily set this aside because we're going to grab this sprue, which I told you to make sure you held on to. We're going to grab our Navi computer, and we want this piece of pipe, this curved piece right here. So we want this piece of piping, and we're going to glue this in place. Now there is a little notch and a little dip where you're going to put this, so I think it's quite clear where it's going to go. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right on there. And we're going to put it in like that. You want it so that the pipe goes kind of up and to the left here. Now we're going to bring back over our cargo bay. And we're going to put this in. Now you can glue it down or you can just set it in. I personally want it to be sturdy, so I'm going to glue it. All I'm going to do is put some glue on the bottom here. Gotta be careful of that pipe piece. Push Navi computer in there and put the pipe right up on the wall. Just like that. And then off this same sprue, we're gonna want this little bit of pipe right here. Like that. And this one does have a peg in it, so make sure you keep an eye open for that. We are going to put just a little bit of glue on it, on that little pin. And it's going to go into, there's a hole right here, and it's going to go in there to where this one section is, where the bend faces out. Well, faces towards the cockpit, the middle. It's going to be very tricky to show you, but I think you'll see it when you get in. Just like that. Next, we're going to focus in on this part here. So I'm going to zoom down. We're focusing in first on the front. We've got two thin pipes here, and they just kind of, they're going to lay right in front here. Now this they don't tell you to glue on, but we've got some of these, and these they do want you to put some glue on and glue them in. Well, just one of them to start. So we're gonna put some glue on the pins right there and there. And then they just want you to put one of them in on this end here. Just like that. Once we get that in, that's going to kind of pin those two pipes down in place. Next, we got these two bigger pipes. And we're going to slide them in to their parts here. the one with the yellow tip goes like this. And then this one goes on top here. So they're just kind of sitting like that. And now we're going to put the other 4 of these in place just like we did with the first one. There we go. Now with all that done, that is it for this stage. So now we're back with stage 14, and this time we are going to open this bag right away. We're going to set aside the framework for right now. We're going to set aside all this because what we really want to focus on is right in here. We're specifically focusing in on this, which means yes, we're doing another one of these. Now I'm going to show you how to do this with a couple of them. Just once again, take your sprue cutters and you clip off one at a time. Take your glue and your glue stick. Some glue into the groove. And then you're gonna basically snap that in place just like that. I'll do one more for you guys here. Take off the piece, glue into the groove, snap it in place. So now, so as not to bore you, I'm going to do all these other ones, and then I'll meet you back here when they're all done, and we'll continue. Just like that. Now, the important thing to remember when doing these is some of these may go in a little easier than others, but every single one of these should snap into place. Now we're going to set that aside. We're going to bring over this section of wall that we get, and we want it oriented this way. And we're going to start by taking this smaller piece here. We're going to do a little dry fit. So it's obviously going to go in there. We're going to take some glue. So we're going to put some glue right inside here. Once we got a good amount of glue there, we're just going to put this in. There's a flat side, which is the side you want to go down in there. Wipe off some excess. Just like that. Now we got this ring, which we're going to dry fit right in there. And we're going to put some glue. I'm going to actually try to put glue on the ring part. And we're just going to set that in place. Yep. And then just like we did with the other one of these, I'm going to dry fit. And then we got to put some glue. I think along the inside of this would be easy. Then we're gonna put the piece in and we're gonna hold it into place just like before. a chance to kind of level it. There we go, just like that. Now I'm gonna let that have a chance to set just for a minute. And we're gonna need the rest of the cargo hold brought over. So with all that glued in place, obviously we can see how this is gonna go in here. So we need to actually kind of get these pipes aligned in here. This is gonna be a little tricky. Just hang on. Stand by, hang on. Just like that. Now that was a little tricky. You end up having to like shake it around a bit, really kind of push it into place, and I just lost it. So hang on a second, I gotta get that back in there. All right, so once you get those pipes in there, which is a royal pain in the ass, I'm gonna straight up say the curse word here because it's worth it. It is going to be held in place. We're gonna hold this thing in place with 4 of the gold screws on this side. And I am going to highly recommend we start with the side with these pipes. There we go. Just like that, the cargo hold is now, according to the book anyway, finished. Now, obviously, as I've stated, there are some options for like adding some details to this wall here, which is missing some stuff. We can look into adding some stuff here, you know, a little later on. I'm gonna look at what some of the options are. I'm gonna do some testing, and if I like if I find something that works out and I like what it looks like, I'll share it with you. But in the meantime, the cargo hold is done, and that is it for this stage. So with stage 15, we're going to start off by adding to our framework, and to start with, we're going to do another one of these radial ribs. Since I like to do things in the certain way, I'm going to do this, and then just like before, we're going to hold this together with a pair of the thicker gold screws. Once we got those in there, we're gonna put the other side on and hold that together with a couple more of the thicker golden screws. Okay, now with that done, we're going to bring back over. We're going to set that to the side for right now. And we are going to bring back over the big section of the frame we worked on. So let me zoom out here. And we got a few more pieces we're going to add to it. Again, with the framework up, it's going to go BF 6 with the letters up. It's going to go 16, 17, and 18, just like this. We're going to attach them with the black, with 5 of the black screws to the radial arm we already have in place. Like that. And now we're going to take the radial arm we just made. I'm sure you can guess. It's going to go right along here with another 5 of the black screws. Just like that. Now again, they do show you how the hull plating fits on here, but we're going to do that at the end of this pack. So for now, we're going to put this aside because that is it for this stage. So the final stage of this pack is going to start us off working on an interior corridor. Now the first thing you'll see is they tell you we're going to make 3 more of those rings, which I've already done. Now these rings have tabs on the top, which are going to come into play a little later on, so we're going to want to make sure we get that right. Right now though, let's set these aside. We're going to bring over this piece, which is our corridor. Now you may choose to weather it up and, paint the floors, make them look grimy and gross, whatever. Whatever you choose to do, we are gonna hold it in place with 6 of the fixing screws, which we should know now are the golden screws. Come in this pack. Once we get it in position, like that, we're just going to feed 1 screw in. Just like that. Now with that in place, we can put the other 5 in. There we go, just like that. Now once that's in place and it's all in there good, we're focusing in on this section where you'll see some tabs. Now, like I said, we've got 3 rings here that we have to put in, but they got to go in a very specific order. So we want to make sure we get the right ones. So you notice like this one, you have this tab up here like this. You have another one so they're all kind of in the same way. So let's just do a test here. So the first one, and they're just telling us to fit them in. They're not telling us to glue anything in yet. So that's gonna fit in like that. The second one's gonna go in here. And the third one is gonna go at the end here. It should just kind of fit in. Nope, I got that one in wrong. That out. just like that. You can see these three kind of set up in a line. That is going to be important later on. Now again, it does not tell us to glue these in yet, so we're going to leave them alone for the time being. We're going to set that aside, and we got a piece of our framework right here. This is frame BF19. And we want to bring our whole framework back here. BF19 is going to go on this side, right here, and we're going to connect that up with a pair of the black screws. There we go. With that done, that's all there is to do in this stage. That's all there is to do in this pack. Now, like I've been teasing, we're going to put some of this framework, these plates in that we've been collecting, and we're going to take a look at how it looks. So now it's important to note when we're looking at how these plate pieces fit on, it's that every plate will have a number. BP, like this one's BP10, and they're going to go into certain places. So we're looking at this first plate here. It looks like it's going to kind of go in like this. Keep in mind, they do not tell you to screw these in yet, so don't do that. And then next, we got this piece here, which is going to go like that. It looks like we got this big piece here. Or no, there's two different sides. It's this big piece right here. And it's going to go in sort of like that. Now we've got this big section. Wait. Wait a second. Yeah, stand by. It's actually this piece with the curve. It's going to go right in here. And then we got this very undetailed piece, which is going to eventually fit in right there. Then we got this piece, which is going to go here. And then you have this piece, which is going to go right in here like that. And I'm guessing eventually this is going to kind of connect right in here, but there's just nowhere really to put that right now. So here's what we're looking at with all the plates we have so far. onto the frame we have. So you can see we've got quite a bit of the Falcon's bottom getting done. So, yep. Lots of these plates are going to be collected over the course of the build. Just make sure you keep them in a safe spot. And again, we're not screwing any of these down right now. So right now our frame should just be the frame. So that's it for this pack. As you see, we're getting the framework is getting quite big. We are starting on some of the interior details that are going to be visible. Cargo bay is all done. We got a lot done today. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait for pack 5 to come. Seems like we're just kind of zooming right along here. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I will catch you next time on the Model Frontier.